floating in a crystal-clear stream, surrounded by vibrant flowers, her eyes fixed on the heavens. John Everett Millais's Ophelia is one of the most hauntingly beautiful depictions of death in art history. But behind this poetic scene lies a story of extreme physical suffering, a model who nearly froze to death in a bathtub, a painter who spent 11 hours a day in the mud, and a botanical language where every single flower predicts a tragic fate. Today, we are decoding the true history and hidden floral codes of Millais's masterpiece. To paint the drowning scene with absolute realism, Millais hired 19-year-old Elizabeth Siddal as his model. For 4 winter months in 1851, Siddal posed lying fully clothed in a bathtub filled with water. To keep the water warm, Millais placed oil lamps underneath. One day, the lamps went out, but Millais was so absorbed in his work he didn't notice. Siddal stayed silent, caught severe pneumonia, and her father threatened to sue the painter until Millais paid her medical bills. Millais was a founder of the Pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood, a group obsessed with nature and Victorian floriography, the language of flowers. Every plant in this painting was chosen deliberately from Shakespeare's text. The willow tree represents forsaken love. The stinging nettles around it symbolize pain. Forget-me-nots floating in the water mean true love. And the violets around her neck signify chastity and early death. Notice the prominent red poppy floating near Ophelia's right hand. Red poppies are not mentioned in Shakespeare's original text for this scene. Millais added this flower intentionally, as a direct symbol of sleep, consolation, and ultimately, death. In Victorian symbolism, the poppy was also associated with opium, foreshadowing the tragic end of both the fictional character and the real model, Elizabeth Siddal, who died years later from an overdose. Now, let's look at a fascinating theory debated by art observers. Look closely at the foliage on the right bank, just above the water. Many scholars argue that the shapes of the leaves and shadows form a hidden skull, a classic Memento Mori embedded in the vegetation. While some critics argue this is merely pareidolia, our brains seeing patterns in random leaves, it aligns perfectly with the Pre-Raphaelite habit of hiding dark subtexts in natural details. In an incredible display of patience, Millais spent up to 11 hours a day, 6 days a week, sitting outdoors by the Hogsmill River in Surrey, just to paint the background. Botanists today study Ophelia, because the plant species depicted are so scientifically accurate that they can identify every single weed and flower. However, there is a geographical impossibility. Millais painted flowers that bloom at completely different months of the year, all together in one single scene. Look at her dress expanding in the water. Shakespeare describes Ophelia's clothes spread wide, bearing her up mermaid-like, before getting heavy with drink and pulling her down to muddy death. Millais bought an authentic antique silver-embroidered Victorian dress specifically for this. He meticulously painted the exact texture of the heavy fabric as it absorbed water, capturing the transition between tragic calm and fatal immersion. Through extreme sacrifice, botanical perfection, and poetic symbolism, John Everett Millais turned a tragic theatrical death into a timeless masterpiece of British art. Ophelia remains a haunting reminder that beauty and tragedy often walk hand in hand. To keep exploring the deep codes, history, and secrets of art history with us, don't forget to like this video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to our channel. Stay with art.